Hello everybody, Cub fan here. Just wanted to shoot a quick video. It's actually probably not going to be all that quick now that I'm thinking about it. But I wanted to kind of give you guys a little in-depth look at the collection that I recently picked up. It was a pretty big collection, all being told probably between 45 to 50,000 cards, which was a big undertaking. It was probably about a month and a half of just sorting through and moving them from shoe boxes to the monster boxes you see in front of you. So the bulk of the collection is from this box here pretty much all the way down. These boxes were already in the collection, and then these boxes here. And as you can see, I kind of went through and organized everything, labeled. Just so much stuff that I really having a hard time of figuring out everything I'm gonna do with it all. So I just thought I'd come on here, show you a little bit of it, and take a look. So we'll grab a couple of these boxes and we'll just do a quick little rummage and see what's there. So I just grabbed two boxes here. Basically what we have here is like 71 through 78 with some mixed years. This collection, the most impressive part about it is that the gentleman that collected all of this wasn't really a singles collector. He liked opening packs, and he started opening packs in the early 70s and pretty much opened packs all the way up until 84, 85. And he was mostly baseball with some football. There was probably like 3 or 4 3,200 count boxes of football, but the majority all baseball. And I think there's half of a 4-row of basketball, which was fine. I'm not a big fan of basketball or football cards, but they were still kind of cool. And what was really cool about this collection is that, I'm probably going to say that a lot, but is the amount of vintage is that I consider this no fluff. So like there's not a ton of like 91 Upper Deck. There was some of that there, but for the most part it was all like I said, 71 through 85. And I don't consider the commons in those years to be much fluff. There's still some value in that. And the collection was all in pretty good shape. I've already boosted my collection up quite a bit. I ended up probably over 1,000 penny sleeves and 400 to 500 new top loads. So that was, I mean, that's it. The whole thing has been fun, but just a small sample is that there was some like 58s, but just a very small amount. There's Bob Henrik, some 59s. I actually penny sleeved that one just because of the condition that card was in, was pretty nice. Just a little bit of 60s. Some of these are pretty rough, as you can see. But that was okay with me, just because, because it was free. One of the downsides to this was that the collection was picked through, and I'll kind of show you what I meant is that from here, let me see. Yeah, this and this row are all 74s. That's all 74 tops. You can see the red. That's all the team cards. That's just a stack of team cards. And so he bought tons and tons of packs. And here's like some of the stars and Hall of Famers that I just pulled out and just penny sleeved up. And I picked through these pretty good and put a lot of these in my PC boxes. And this is just kind of what's left over. There's a Tony Oliva, The Reggie Jackson from the 73 playoffs. But there's a Dick Allen, Dwight Evans second year, Luis Aparicio, Eddie Matthews manager card, but Raleigh Fingers, Phil Necro. There's a Brian Downey and a Bake McBride rookie, Frank White rookie, Frank Tanana. It's a Harmon Killebrew. There was actually probably 5 or 6 of these Harmon Killebrews. There's Bill Madlock rookie, Bucky fucking Dent, Goose Gossage, Matt Oliva, some Steve Garvey. There's the Willie Mays from the World Series. There's a nice Hank Aaron All-Star. So it's just a lot of stuff like this. And I went through this. I picked out what I liked. But with the amount of 74, there was one Dave Winfield rookie. There was one Dave Parker rookie. But there was not a single Nolan Ryan. As a matter of fact, there was not a single Nolan Ryan until you got up to 78, 79. Some of the, there's a Rod Carew, Ted Simmons, Jim Palmer, nice little Lou Brock. Picked out a couple of those, Joe Morgan. And this is just what's left over. This is the duplicate or triplicate. Carlton Fisk, third year. Nice Thurman Munson. And there's another Frank Tanana. And these are all a little bit more. So like the Hank Aaron's. I thought those were cool. All from 74. And here's all the All-Stars. There's another Reggie. And Willie Stargell. Reggie there. Yeah, see? Carew and Pete Rose. I hate these vertical ones. There's Tommy and Lou Brock. But you guys are kind of getting the drift there. So much of this stuff in there. But it was picked through. But which is fine. I can't complain. This collection cost me an airline ticket and a rental car and a couple $100 in supplies just to house it all, which is, it's nothing really. It's really nothing. But here's some 76. He didn't buy any 75. No 75. There was probably 5 or 6 75 tops in this whole collection, which is okay. But there was a Robin Yount rookie, which was weird. It was pretty beat up. I already put it in a different box and pulled it out of here, but there's a 76 Bob Boone, Charlie Huff. These are just kind of semi-stars, Lou Piniella. But there's a Lyman Bostock rookie, which is kind of cool. Raleigh Fingers, Billy Williams. So a couple Fergies. Rod Carew, the Saul 76. There's another Reggie. I believe there's another. No, that's only stick. No. I was fibbing. There's another stack. I lost my place there. I'm going to regret that later. And Billy Williams, Tony Perez. There's the Hank Aaron, record breaker. Another Rod Carew. And as you can see, these are all in pretty good shape. Jim Palmer, Brooksy. Like that one. Carlton Fisk. That Reggie. He's got some pinholes in him. Thurman Munson. Nice Dave Winfield, third year. Covey. Garvey. I don't need to name them all. You know who they are. Nice Yount, second year. Those are Brett, second year. Nice Rose. Gary Carter, second year. Nice little Lou Brock. More of those Aaron cards. And Dwight Evans. Believe it or not, I found it. And then here's more. Let's see. Now we're getting in the 77s. 77 is just kind of a boring, you know, just nothing. 76, 77, and 78 are all really just kind of, I could be wrong. They're just kind of bland. There's a Reggie, a Yaz, Palmer, Willie Randolph, and a Rod Guidry second year. Carew. Nice bench. Steve Carlton, Robin Yount, some Dave Parker, Willie Stargell. A bunch of 78s. Not a lot of 77. 77 is pretty much from here to here. And then from here to here are the 78s. And there was a lot of 78s. George Brett. Now, mind you, I've already taken cards out of here and put in the PC. This is all just leftovers that I want to keep them because that's the collector in me, or the hoarder, as my wife would say. But we all have a little bit of that, or we wouldn't be collectors, right? A Carew, Palmer. And I know I probably need to move some of this stuff. This would be a good kickstart to Ray Knight rookie. A nice kickstart to free up some funds to buy something bigger or something I really want. So I've given that some thought. I just don't really know the best route to go, because posting these things individually on eBay would just be an absolute chore. But I also know that selling them in bulk, I won't get as much as I should. Jack Clark, always liked him. A couple Lee Mays, Denny Martinez. Not all Hall of Famers, but there's Tony Perez, Joe Morgan. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the 78s. Well, got that in there wrong. I do that. Tom Seaver. Yeah, so it was, it's been a lot of fun just looking through this stuff. I'm probably just rambling because I really don't know which direction I want to go with this. I love having this kind of stuff around because, like I said before, I just don't feel like it's fluff, you know. These, the vintage, there's a Vita Blue right off there, is that this vintage holds more value than some of the commons of modern day stuff, and more desirable, in my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong there, but in my opinion, this stuff is more desirable. And that might be because I desire it, but just kind of my thoughts. So I like having it, but at the same time, I have so much of it now that I just don't know what to do with it, and that's a weird problem to have. But yeah, there it is. Sorry this video kind of ran a little long, but I just want to keep you guys updated on this collection as I'm going through it, and yeah, as I'm deciding what I'm going to do with it. Probably the next video I do on this is I'll show you guys more of the meat and potatoes, more of the money cards. Wasn't a lot. Which I hate to say, but I mean that's the reality of it. But there was so much of the mid stuff that really made this collection worth it, in my opinion, for the price I paid. Right? So, yep. So there it is. Everybody, thanks for watching, and catch you on the next time.